If you train women, chances are that you have clients on birth control. And in your research, you may have found that birth control impacts how your client feels, their nutrient needs, and even the way that they metabolize fat. This video isn't intended to help change your client's mind about their medication, but it is meant to support and empower you and your client so that they can be the healthiest they can be. So in this lesson, we are going to dive deep into specifically oral birth control and its impact on nutrient depletion and how you can support your clients. Birth control's impact on estrogen, birth control's impact on fat utilization and exercise capacity, its impact on bone mass over time. So if you're excited about all that, go ahead, like this video, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and when you subscribe, you'll be notified every time I post a new lesson for personal trainers on hormone optimization. And if you don't know me yet, my name is Omega, and I'm the founder of the Confident Menstrual Cycle Coach Academy, where I empower personal trainers to balance and optimize their own hormones while also supporting them in building the confidence to do the same for their clients using science-backed research. This is an application-only program, so if it sounds like it would be up your alley, you can schedule an application call with me or a member of my team where we'll ask you a few more questions and you and I or you and my team member can decide if working together is a fit. You can book your application call using the link in the description below. This is one of my personal training students who came off birth control, and she says that I've been doing a lot of reflection on looking at the cyclical health assessment, which is an assessment that we have in the program now versus when I was on birth control. And when I was on birth control, I struggled with estrogen balance, which means she had cramps, depression, mood changes, and irritability. And not even joking, she says, not even joking, ever since coming off birth control, everything else has been so much more level. Crazy to reflect on that. And it's so cool how the body does come back in balance when we give it the right cues. And so I'm not here to promote a pro or anti-birth control lifestyle. I'm here to help educate and empower. So in this lesson, we'll be taking a look at birth control, specifically hormonal birth control. All birth controls work differently, and for the sake of making this video concise and applicable, we're focusing just on that one birth control option today. And if you want to hear about others, just put them in the comments below and I'll make sure to do a video on that. So first things first, oral birth control depletes nutrients. This 2013 article by Palermi et al. States that it has been shown that key nutrient depletions concern folic acid, vitamins B2, B6, B12, vitamin C and E, and minerals magnesium, selenium, and zinc. The researchers go on to advise that these vitamins and minerals should be supplemented within an oral contraceptive user's diet. The supplement that I recommend that people on oral birth control get, especially when they're deciding to get off it, is Ovamoon, which I have linked in the description for you to look at and see if it's a good choice for you and to give you to your clients. But I also want to empower you with foods rich in those nutrients too, because I have a food-first approach. Food sources your clients on birth control or coming off birth control would need: B2, that's high in brewer's yeast, calf liver, almonds, and wild rice. B6, sunflower, walnuts, and lentils. B12, sardines, salmon, Swiss cheese, eggs. Vitamin C, red chili peppers, grapefruit, kale, and parsley. Vitamin E, sunflower seeds, almonds, spinach, dried prunes. Magnesium, kelp, almonds, cashews, barley, molasses. Selenium, Brazil nut, tuna, Swiss chard oats, brown rice, and salmon. And zinc, oysters, pumpkin seeds, ginger roots, pecans, and split peas. Screenshot this to have it handy and share with your Instagram followers, and make sure to tag me at Cycle Coach Academy when you do. And if you're learning more on how to support your clients' hormones who are on birth control, please go ahead and like this video if you haven't already. And remember, when you do that, you help other personal trainers find this video too, and you help them help their clients, empower them with hormone health. So birth control impacts overall estrogen levels too. In Stacy Sims' research, she says that women on birth control have 6 to 8 times the estrogen when compared to women with a normal cycle. In addition to that, high estrogen symptoms that we can experience include PMS. That's what my academy student was dealing with. That's her cramps, depression, mood changes, and irritability. Now let's talk about bone density. Every woman past their 30s is thinking about bone density as they enter perimenopause. And we as trainers help address that by doing weight-bearing exercise, right? This study looked at adolescent and young adult women and found that birth oral contraceptive use and discontinuation were associated with bone mass density losses / smaller gains to non-users. The difference was about 2% over 12 to 24 months at all skeletal sites. This study also showed that fit college-age women had less bone mineral density and bone size when on birth control. Authors say that women who had greater than 10 menstrual cycles in the year prior to bone mass density measurements had higher bone mass density at all sites, as well as greater tibial mineral content and cortical thickness than women who had oligomenorrhea or amenorrhea, that is less than 9 cycles in the prior year. Oral contraceptive users had slightly lower bone mineral density in the spine and calcaneus, smaller tibial circumference, and lower tibial mineral content than non-oral contraceptive users. Now, when you got your personal training certification or went through school for exercise science or kinesiology, you probably remember learning about female athlete triad, which is now called RED-S, which stands for Relative Energy Deficiency in Sports. One of the key markers of female RED-S includes the loss of bone mineral density, would you imagine? And while almost all women are offered birth control from their doctors, and about 14% of women at the time of this video are on birth control, it's important that we as trainers know how to combat loss in bone mineral density with nutrition. So wouldn't you imagine? I'm going to go over that too. So this study tells us that vitamin D and calcium are essential for bone health. Those are the obvious ones. And while you can encourage your client to supplement, you can also encourage them to get food sources of vitamin D and calcium too. Good food sources include vitamin D from cod liver oil, salmon and sardines, mackerel and tuna. And sources of calcium include kelp, cheddar cheese, carob, which tastes similar to chocolate, collard greens, and kale. The not so obvious micronutrients shown in this study that we just mentioned to support bone density include vitamin A, B, C, E, K, folate, magnesium, potassium, silicone, as well as antioxidants and vitamin C and carotenoids. And I love to get into which foods contain all those nutrients, but this lesson would be way too long. So please go ahead and look that up in your free study time. So the last important topic we as trainers need to be aware of is lipid metabolism and how well our clients on birth control use fat. This study shows us that a certain ingredient in hormonal birth control decreases insulin sensitivity, and a decrease in insulin sensitivity results in insulin having a hard time delivering excess carbohydrate to the liver and muscles, resulting in adipogenesis or the creation of fat cells. Now, if you or your client are considering coming off birth control, I highly recommend following the nutrient recommendations I made in this video. And I know that we covered a lot here, but this is really just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to holistically supporting your female clients. If you want to go from having to constantly reference hormone health facts and just doing the basics to support your own cycle and not really understanding your client's cycle, to being confident in helping your clients optimize and balance their hormones with and without birth control, go ahead and apply for the Confident Menstrual Cycle Coach Academy. It is an invite-only program, so the best way for us to determine if it's a good fit to work together is to click the application link in the description below and set up a time for an application call. Before you go ahead, like this video if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel, and make sure to leave a comment telling me what kind of birth control you want me to review next. And if you just understand the basics of cyclical fitness and want a scientifically validated approach so you can feel more confident when talking to your clients, make sure to watch this video next. I will see you there. Bye.